Hey guys, I'm Peter Seros and this is Chad Phillips and you're watching 3SSRTV.
Thank you very much, Peter. Quick question. Your eye doesn't look very right at all. I know she got a bit of makeup there, but please explain to me what happened.
Pretty much if I didn't have it, it'd be blue and about out to here. So I was at this place and like all these samurais just come out of nowhere and there's this huge like fight and this panda comes out and just smacks right in the face. I couldn't do anything, and yeah.
And that's the story that you've been telling everybody.
That's what I've been telling people. I
think you need to work on that one. I think you need to speak to your writers about a more believable story.
No, that's the truth.
That's your court story.
That was the truth. So nothing unbelievable about that.
Nothing at all. Samurais. Especially in Australia.
Samurais and a polar bear? No, I said panda, didn't I?
Yeah.
You know what? They're the same.
Yeah, they're the same anyway. Well, you're going with that story anyway. But let's get serious here because we've got a big jam-packed show. Let's go. Start off with a bit of our music segment this week with Tom Spottiswoode and Michael Thompson, who don't have bruised faces.
Hello and welcome to another week of music news. Later on in the show, I'll be talking about two incredibly talented female artists. But first, Mike, you got a bit of music news.
Indeed I do, Tom. Basement Jaxx, which is a group that were dominated in the early 2000s in the dance scene and one of my favourite childhood bands growing up, have announced that they are going to be doing an Australian tour in 2015. Basement Jaxx released their first album in 5 years entitled Junto, which hasn't got much publicity as Daft Punk's album did last year. But however, the guys have said that they are going to be coming around February 2015, which coincides with Future Music Festival, so they might be headlining the events, which will be very good to see. In other news, the Fall Festival music lineup has been announced, and Alt J and Milky Chance have got, basically a headlining and intriguing lineup, including Vance Joy, Cold War Kids, and the Temper Trap.
Massive lineup for Falls Festival this year.
It is a massive lineup, and also it will mark the final time that we see Blue Juice together on stage, which is really sad because they are such a unique group on stage.
Oh, such a fantastic band to see live. They're always put on a great set, don't they?
Oh, I love them. I saw them a big day out this year, and they were just amazing at the start.
Yeah, fantastic.
In also other news, in a week and a half's time, I'm going to fanboy here a little bit. Justin Timberlake is going to be rocking Etihad Stadium, and honestly, I cannot wait for this concert time because I think this is going to be the best one in 2014.
You're going to love it.
I'm going to love it.
Etihad Stadium not being the best venue in the world, but I'm sure JT will be sweet.
Exactly. So, Tom, what's happening in the world of music at the moment?
Well, there's been a lot of albums released in the past few weeks, including Kimbra's The Golden Echo. Massive album there from Kimbra. I personally haven't had a chance to listen to it yet, but from what I've heard, it's the classic Kimbra we all know and love. Quite a few collaborations on this album. We've got big names such as Michael Schumann from Queens of the Stone Age.
I love Queens of the Stone Age.
Daniel Johns, of course, from Silverchair.
He also did some songs with 360 on the Utopia album too.
That's right. He's done a lot of collaborations in the last few years.
He has.
I think he did an ad for Qantas or Jetstar or something like that.
Back in a couple of years ago.
He's been behind the scenes for a while, but I think he's also coming out with some new music next year. But Mark Foster and Matt Bellamy are also on the record. And John Legend, another big name there.
The Kimbra's doing well at the moment overseas.
Well, it should be a massive record, and I can't wait to listen to it. Despite her huge career so far, it's only her second studio album.
Imagine what she can be like in a couple of years' time.
We've a lot more albums to hear from her.
Watch this space from Kimbra. She's going to dominate the music scene.
Yeah, that's right. And in other news, Australian sweetheart and fellow Melburnian Missy Higgins has announced a massive Australian tour and the release of a new album. It's a cover album. It's called Oz, and it'll feature 15 covers from Australian artists, past and present. The list includes Something for Kate, Slim Dusty, The Angels, a bit of Paul Kelly, and the tour kicks off in Cairns on the 20th of September and heads all over Australia. It's such a big tour. It's packed into a month or so, but she's going pretty much everywhere. And she'll finish up here in Melbourne at the Regent Theatre.
I definitely want to get down to that.
That's definitely a concert I want to go and see, and it'll be a fantastic album. But that's it from us at Music News. Back to you.
Thanks, guys. That's your music updates for this week. Stay tuned because there's plenty more to come on 3SSRTV.
Definitely right, Peter, because right now we're going to go to a bit of sports action with John Donohoe and Peter himself.
G'day guys, welcome back to 3SSR Footy Hit for week 2. We're doing a Brownlow special this week, so we went through the first 9 teams last week, and we've got the last 9 now. I'm John Donohoe here as always with Peter Siros. Peter, welcome. We're going to get straight into it now. Gold Coast, how do you see this one going? There's only one man I want to talk about really, but who do you like?
It's Riscatelli, isn't it?
No, it's not Michael
not.
Riscatelli, mate. It's Gary Ablett. Gary Ablett. He did his shoulder in round 16, I think it was, and he's been out for about 6 weeks now. But he's still second favourite to win the Brownlow with a number of players going down the last few weeks.
Yeah, he's a very good player, and you understand why. Everyone thinks that if he's polled 10 3-pointers, he's won the Brownlow. He's got 30 votes, so you don't know still.
He could be so far ahead by round 16 or 17, no one will be able to catch him. GWS, mate, who do you like?
Callan Ward. Callan Ward is definitely going to be a good, serious chance for GWS, especially with all their wins.
Absolutely. I like Toby Green. I do agree with that with Callan Ward, but I think Toby Green's going to poll a lot of votes. We've seen the last few years he's polled quite well, but Callan Ward obviously is the standout. But Toby Green, he keeps getting 30 possession games, so he's a standout for mine. I think he'll take a few votes off him as well. Hawthorn, there's so many names we could go through. Lewis, Bruce, Roughhead, Gunston, everyone. Everyone will get votes. Who do you like? Who's going to win? Hodge?
I think Isaac Smith. I'm going to go a little bit on someone that's not a fan favourite necessarily to win the Brownlow, but I think Isaac Smith is a very good player, and I reckon he'll poll well.
I think Ruffy's going to take the most votes. He's going to win the Coleman. He's got a few bags of 6 and 7, and I think he kicked 110 as well. So I think he's going to get the votes. He's a classy footballer. He stands out to the umpires, and I think he's going to take the votes come Brownlow night. North Melbourne, they've had an up and down year, but some good players in there. I think Boomer Harvey's going to take the votes. He's a natural vote getter. And I think there's not many really in the team that could take many off him.
Well, I was going to agree with you with Boomer Harvey, but considering you picked him, I'm going to go with Andrew Swallow.
Andrew Swallow, he did miss a big chunk of the year with an Achilles injury, but could come back late there with a few votes in the end. But I think Boomer Harvey's home and hosed for North Melbourne. Port Adelaide, Jay Schultz is my smoky, but I think that Chad Wingard might get a few votes here.
Oliver Wines for me. He's had a fantastic season, and Port Adelaide have had a pretty good year as well. Obviously, they had that 5-6 weeks of a bit of a fade, but I still think they're going to score well.
Now you'll know all about who's going to get the votes here, so I'll leave this one to you, Richmond. Who's taking the votes?
It'll be I think Brandon Ellis. Brandon Ellis has had a really start-out season. He's racked up 36, 35 disposals easily for, 20 out of the 22 games he's played. So, fantastic.
I think Trent Cotchin is the man right there. The second half of his year has been sublime. St Kilda, Nick Grewald for mine is the only man on that team who's probably going to poll all that many votes.
Agreed.
He had a really good start to the year, a couple of goals early on, so I think we'll move on from that one because he's the only man who's going to poll votes. Josh Kennedy for Sydney is my big tip to win the Brownlow. He got injured a few weeks back, we saw that, but I think that'll be irrelevant. I think he could still win it.
I agree with you. Lance Franklin will also steal some votes every now and then.
West Coast, who do you like?
Josh Kennedy. Sorry, the other Kennedy. Who's the other Kennedy again?
Josh Kennedy's at West Coast.
Josh Kennedy's at West Coast.
Yep.
I always get the two names. I get them too mixed up. Josh Kennedy, he's had a fantastic season, and I reckon he'll get the most votes.
I like Matty Prittis and Luke Shuey. I like those two. I think they could steal votes off each other, but I think Matty Prittis' last half of the year has been sublime. And finally, the Western Bulldogs. Who's going to take the votes here?
Boyd. Definitely Boyd. He's a continuous poller. He came second a few years back. I reckon he's going to get it.
Ryan Griffin and Robert Murphy for me are the two who are going to poll pretty well for the Western Bulldogs. It's been a tough year for them, but I think those two will poll pretty well. That's all we got time for today guys. Keep tuning in, and until next week, good luck to your team.
Thanks, guys. Well, move over AFL. We have some big soccer news here in Australia. Yes, Australia will be hosting the Internationals Cup, which will see the likes of Chelsea, Manchester City, Real Madrid and Barcelona come here to show the world that they're ready. And we're going to be taking on the A-League All-Stars and some of the best teams that we have here in the A-League. Well, it's already caused a whole bunch of controversy within the AFL because it's going to be hosted at the MCG. Now, last time we saw something of this scale at the MCG was when Liverpool were here. The MCG was filled out, 90,000 people
all singing You'll Never Walk Alone. The atmosphere was euphoric. It was absolutely brilliant for soccer here in Australia. Now that they're going to be hosting the Internationals Cup, it's just going to take it up to that next level. But it's caused some controversy for the AFL because it is in between the June and July period, and that is prime time football season for all the AFL players. And it gets worse because they're not going to be able to play at the MCG because they're going to be hosting these football giants. But I guarantee you that it's going to be an action-packed week of soccer here when the International Cup is on. So make sure you get down and watch one of these games because these sides are totally unbelievable and it's very rare that we get them here in Australia. Thanks, guys, and back to you in the studio.
Thanks, boys. Another update of sports for this week. Now, a quick question to you, Peter. You do both the footy segment on our program and also our hosting gig.
Yep.
How the heck do you do both logistical-wise, do between both?
Yeah, well, obviously, because I'm not moving much and neither's the studio, and then I end up in a different place.
Yeah.
Have you seen the movie The Hobbit?
Yes, The Hobbit, yep.
I'm actually Gandalf.
Gandalf, the white or the grey.
I'm the wizard. Yep, Gandalf. I'm the grey one.
So you're
Hobbit, not the one with the.
You're telling me the reason that you do both the footy segment and the hosting gig is because you're Gandalf.
If that's unbelievable, I could also be Batman. Does that work better? Is that a more believable answer?
Let me put it this way to you, Peter. The story that you gave to us at the start, where you said that pandas and samurais attacked you with that eye, was more believable.
Oh, well. As long as that one was more believable, then you believe it.
As long as the courts sort of believe that, we'll go with that. But right now, let's go to something a bit more believable with the boys from Swing Gamers giving us the latest in gaming for this week.
Hi there, I'm Sean.
I'm Ricky.
And we're Swing Gamers, and we're here to talk to you about what's the latest in games. Now, at the moment, we've got two games which are coming out fairly soon. They're Alien Isolation and Lord of the Rings: Shadow of Mordor.
Yes, that's right. After the September quiet period, October is starting to shape up as a really good month. This is the time of year where all the big titles start to drop. And at the very start of October, yes, we have the new Alien game and the new Lord of the Rings game.
So both games are looking fairly well. It's going to be interesting to see how they pan out. Alien Isolation, of course, coming off Alien Colonial Marines, which was critically panned by everybody. It was terrible.
Yes, it was. I actually had it on pre-order. And I watched one review and changed my pre-order pretty quickly. But let's hope Alien Isolation can back up after that. I've seen the trailer, I've seen gameplay. I'm very, very excited because it's going back to its roots, which is survival horror, which is what made the first movie so damn good. And I cannot wait for this game. It looks fantastic.
Meanwhile, Lord of the Rings: Shadow of Mordor is looking really interesting. The fact that you can be, a Wraith King effectively. You're half Wraith King, half human. You're dead or alive. You got a story of redemption. It looks really good, and I'm really interested in it, especially after War in the North.
Yeah, that was a really great game, and this one's shaping up to be just as good. I've seen plenty of gameplay, plenty of trailers. There've been a lot of trailers for this game, in fact, and I'm really, really looking forward to this. There's some very Assassin's Creed dynamics to this, but that's not a bad thing because I love the Assassin's Creed series. So I cannot wait for this game to drop.
So what do you reckon? Out of all the games that have come out for Alien, say, for the Alien vs. Predator and those sorts of games, which one do you reckon is your favourite?
Well, they've both had massive franchises, and for me, it's got to be the Aliens vs. Predator from 2010 that was released on the Xbox 360 and PS3. You could play as the aliens, the predators, or the humans, and it made the gameplay very dynamic, especially the multiplayer modes where you could play as one of the 3 species, and each one had their own attributes and could go up against each other in very unique ways.
The fact that I liked about the story was that each of the different characters, so the human, his campaign was considered the hard campaign, whereas with the alien it was the medium campaign, and with the predator apparently it was meant to be really easy, because for each of the 3 characters they had their own separate story, and their separate story kind of like went around. So the predator would have to go and kill humans and the occasional alien. The humans, everyone was out to get them. So you were it was sort of survival horror, slightly better than Colonial Marines,
yes.
But hopefully Isolation kind of puts the cherry on the top and says this is how an Alien versus Predator game, or an Alien game in general, should be.
Now, Sean, another franchise that had a lot of games released, Lord of the Rings franchise, obviously even before the movies came out, plenty of games, but after the movies, an absolute slew of games came out. So for you, what has been your favourite?
Honestly, I liked the Two Towers and I liked Return of the King. I like those 2 movie tie-ins. A lot of movie tie-in games are absolutely poor. They're dreadful. But I really like those 2 in the gameplay. It was co-op. You were able to get through stuff. But I reckon War in the North was the pick for me. And hopefully Shadow of Mordor follows along suit.
Yeah, for me, it would have to be Lord of the Rings Return of the King. On the Game Boy Advance, I really liked the simple gameplay. You could play as all the main heroes from the movie, and it was just a really, really fun game to play.
So anyway, at the moment, Alien Isolation is looking for a release date of the 7th of October, and Lord of the Rings Shadow of Mordor is looking for the 8th of October. However, those dates could change. Anyway, that's it for all of us here at Swing Gamers. I'm Sean.
I'm Ricky.
And this is your gaming feed. Back to the studio.
Great stuff, guys. Thanks for all those gaming updates, but thanks for also naming a bunch of other games I still can't play at the moment.
You can't play now. Why is the reason you can't play?
I broke my Xbox and I am crying inside every day. I can't play these games. And, I mean, everything's breaking at the moment.
Yeah.
First was my face.
Yeah.
Then there was the Xbox.
The Xbox.
My face.
And then your face again. Well...
I'm more sad about the Xbox.
It hasn't been going too well for you.
No, it hasn't. But I think the Xbox is on its
Yeah.
It's on its way being.
Well, knowing as we're good friends, you've told me that you found some of your older Xboxes in dumpsters. You could probably try that.
I found my first one in a dumpster.
Yeah.
Not a dumpster. It was just out in the rubbish, but I found it.
No, there's a lower scale to a dumpster.
Thanks, Chad.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Well, let's go to Street Walk for this week, and it's actually Georgia Westgarth and Steffi as they hit the streets of Swinburne.
Hey guys, welcome to the Street Walk. I'm Steffi.
And I'm Georgia, and today we're asking people what is the most weirdest food combo you've tried.
It's gonna get gross. Let's get to it.
And what's your most craziest food combination?
On toast, a bit of peanut butter, a bit of chilli, some egg. It's genius.
Oh wow, that sounds yum. I want to try that.
Hey, so what's the weirdest food combo you've ever had?
Peanut butter, Nutella, and rice bubbles in a white bread sandwich.
Sounds great. That's super crunchy.
Yeah, super crunchy. You need crunch.
Crunchy peanut butter?
Yeah, crunchy peanut butter. Smooth peanut butter is a no-go. It's peanut butter jelly time, peanut butter jelly time, peanut butter jelly time.
What's the weirdest food combination you've ever had?
I would say spaghetti bolognese and bananas.
Wow, that's definitely interesting. How was it?
Terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Wouldn't recommend?
No, never.
All right, Kirsty, what is your craziest food combination?
I really like eating salt and vinegar chips with mayonnaise.
On bread?
Just on their own.
Just dip the chips in the mayo?
It's a great dip.
Thanks.
All right, so that wraps up Street Walk for this week. What's your weird food combination, Georgie?
Well, I'm feeling pretty hungry now after all those answers, but my weird food combo is white bread, cream, and banana. It's better than you think.
I got nothing to... what?
And what's your weird one, Steffi?
Mine is, instead of a grilled cheese, it's a grilled rice. So it's rice in a fried sandwich.
A grilled rice?
Grilled rice.
With salt and pepper, or?
Yeah.
Well.
It's actually amazing. Fry it with oil.
Oh, yeah.
It's beautiful. So that's us.
Great stuff, guys. Really like some of those answers. Some of those have been pretty good. Finding them pretty funny. Some of them. My favourite one was last week. About the elevator. But anyway, let's continue.
Yeah. Well, with actually a new segment that we're lining up for this week, we're going to learn a bit about travel with Hidden Wonders of Australia with Crystal and Jess.
Hey guys, welcome to the Hidden Wonders of Australia. I'm Crystal.
And I'm Jess.
And this isn't just your everyday travel show.
Here we will fill you in on the unknown must-sees of Australia as opposed to the tourist attractions you hear about every day.
To kick off our very first segment, we'll be talking about one of Australia's biggest destinations, the Gold Coast, Queensland.
So obviously we all know the coast for the theme parks, service paradises, Cavill Avenue, Sin City and the good old aqueduct. But there's actually a lot more to this beautiful city than what meets the eye.
Within an hour's drive of the Gold Coast, the Tamborine National Park is one of Queensland's most beautiful protected areas.
Scattered across 14 separate reserves, the park is made up of scenic drives, bushwalks, waterfalls, beautiful rainforest areas and even an eco-centre.
Yep, and the park also provides habitat for the platypus, bush turkeys, lyrebirds and 65% of flora, making it the must-see hidden gem of the coast.
But, of course, if you're feeling a little bit more beachy, then South Stradbroke Island is just for you. It's situated just off the coast and you can find your way there by water taxi, seaplane or even on a private luxury yacht.
True, this is one of my favourite places. This stunning location provides a worthwhile experience for everyone. Action seekers can enjoy surfing, snorkeling and jet skiing. But if you're after something a little bit more chilled, escape the fast pace of the Gold Coast and relax in the natural, unspoiled beauty of the area.
Definitely, and for something a little bit more exhilarating perhaps, the Sky Point is Australia's highest external building climb. The 322.4 metre high building is located in the heart of the Gold Coast and is the 25th tallest building in the whole world.
The climb will take you about 90 minutes and yes, it's 298 steps. Though that may seem exhausting, the 360-degree view at the point of the summit will be worth it. There are a number of climb options with prices ranging between $49 to I think $120.
Yep. However, we highly recommend the climb and dine at $89 for adults. The early morning climb departs daily at 7:20 a.m. and finishes with a delicious mouth-watering Aussie buffet breakfast.
Sure does. So there you have it. These are 3 must-experience destinations to add to your bucket list. For more information, you can check out our blog at hiddenwonders.com.au and stay tuned for next time. Back to you, boys.
Great stuff there from Jess and Crystal with Hidden Wonders of Australia. And man, unfortunately, we're out of time for this week's program. It's been pretty chock-a-block.
That's right, but if you want to watch it again, or if you had friends that missed it, or, you know, obviously we're high in demand.
Yeah. Are we?
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Go on the YouTube, which is 3SSR on YouTube. Also, go on our website. You can restream off there at 3SSR.org. Also, check out our new apps, which are available on Android and iPhone.
Hey, we're not done there because we also got Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter as well.
That's right, but for now, I'm your host, Peter Zeros.
And I'm Chad Phillips, and you've been tuning to 3SSRTV.
Very well.
Bye.
Peter's ridiculous. Wait, is he ready? Peter's ridiculously sexy looking black eye, take 1.
We're good? Alright. I'm not getting a clapper, am I? Okay, cheers for that, guys. Fucking let me know. Alright. My bad. My bad, I try not to swear.
Girlfriend keeps hitting you.
Because I already forgot. Okay, cool. I've already forgot the name of our segment. Biggest, a little bit faster, destinations of the Gold Coast.
This is actually tough.
Sorry, I was just like, I couldn't like say the word any slower.
Lanolin? Lanolin?
Okay. Music, take 1, action!
Hello.
Ready? One-eyed Pete, take 1, action. All right.
Peter the Bruiser, take 2, action. Alright. Black Eyed Pete, starring 30, take 3, action.
Hey guys, make sure to tune in next week as we have plenty more to come, and here is a sneak preview of what we have installed.
And one for the last gen. They're both different games, and
Those pitted Zeros, and next to me is Chat Fox.
Thank you very much, Peter. Big show for this week. Third weekend, we've got a bit of music, we've got a bit of...
But it should be good to see how they go next week at home with the 1-0 advantage. In other news, and